We're back on this Sunday morning with the governor of Tennessee, Bill Lee. Don BOSCH, you have the floor.
Governor, good morning and good to have you back. While we're talking about education, I would like to ask about some things. I mean, we still rank nationally towards the bottom of K through 12 education, but just as importantly, or as importantly, we rank towards the bottom in teacher pay. And I know that your budget and the budget that's proposed has a number in it, and I want to say, without checking the data, that it was somewhere around 4%. But some have said that that increase really amounts to 1.5% for each teacher, which is a very minuscule amount when they're already underpaid. Can you address sort of where you're at in terms of teacher pay and what you hope to accomplish? Because until we can get that teacher pay up, we are going to lose quality instructors and teachers and continue to do so either to the private sector or to other states. And I'm very, as a citizen, I'm very concerned about that issue in itself.
Yeah, I think you're right, Don, in that teacher pay is very important. As you know, we took every increase of any kind in our budget off the table back in March, and then reiterated that in June when we were in the middle of uncertainty economically. But now that our economy is beginning to come back, we have reinstituted that teacher pay. And we actually brought that back. Part of the reason we had the special session is we were able to begin that pay starting early in this year, so we didn't have to wait until the next fiscal year to pay teachers more. You know, one of the things that we know is that we have to attract folks into this profession, and they don't do it just for the pay. It's a call. Teaching is a calling. We know that, but we do need to make sure that teachers are paid well, and we'll continue to advocate for, through the legislature, we'll continue to advocate for increased funding, both for school districts, and we are fully funding the BEP again this year, and increasing teacher pay. But more importantly, or in addition to that, I should say, what we got to do is attract the best and brightest. We are creating programs within the Department of Education that will reward the high-performing students for moving into the teaching profession. We're also working with the Higher Education Commission and our colleges and universities. Yesterday, I spoke with college presidents of TCUA, the private institutions across our state. And certainly I've just spoke with President Boyd in the last week about teacher prep programs and how we need to partner the Department of Education with our higher education institutions to develop a stronger core of teachers that are coming into the profession. So we combine increases in pay, which we're doing through our budget, with increased incentives to get the best and brightest into our teaching core, and we'll start or continue down a path to increase and improve the education teaching component in our state.
Right. Governor, the Democrats are in a super minority in both the House and the Senate. What has been their best idea? As Don mentioned, they pushed hard about using excess money, $3 billion in surplus money, to perhaps reward teachers or boost the education budget, as the TEA would like to see. What's been the best idea that you've seen come from Democrats, if those aren't good ones?
Well, yeah, I'll have to speak to, there's been a great deal of bipartisan agreement on the pieces of legislation that we brought forth in the special session. You saw real bipartisan support on many of those initiatives that we brought forth, because Democrats and Republicans agree alike that we have to address the issues that affect our kids, whether that's this literacy push that we're doing. We instituted a new third grade gate, we call it, to make sure that we don't push kids beyond third grade before they're ready, so that we put them in a situation where they're set up to fail. We think that's going to have a significant impact on the success rate of our kids as they go into middle school and junior high school. So I think we work together with Democrats on policy around children and around education for kids. Those are a couple examples of ideas that we've worked together on to bring forth change.
John, I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Well, what I was suggesting was that there have been complaints that while there is a raise for teachers, and we talk about drawing the best and brightest, so is every other state in America. And they're drawing our best and brightest away in part because they just pay better. And what can we do? Because until we raise teacher salaries to be at least competitive with the region, that is going to continue to happen. And I know we speak a lot about private schools. I don't think we'll go down the voucher rabbit hole this morning, but the duty of government is to fund public schools and to provide the best education possible. And I'm just suggesting the raise that was given really isn't sufficient. Is there some future plan to increase that substantially to bring us online with the region?
Well, I think that we're always going to be looking at how we compare with other states and make those investments one step at a time to make sure that we stay competitive with other states, and to, as I said, to increase the incentives to get kids that are not teachers yet, but that will be teachers to join that teaching corps. So we've got to do both, Don. We've got to continue to look at teacher pay and make sure that we are continuing to invest in that, and we will going forward, along with other opportunities to get more kids into the profession.
We're going to take another quick break on Inside Tennessee. Don, Susan will be back with you and the governor right after this.